You've seen it everywhere. Guys jumping into ice baths, taking freezing cold showers, claiming it's boosting their testosterone and giving them rock-hard erections. And you're probably thinking, how could freezing my body possibly help me get hard when we all know cold water causes shrinkage? Well, stay with me, because the science behind this is actually fascinating. And yes, cold exposure can genuinely improve your erectile function, but not in the way you think. I'm Dr. Emma Blake, your trusted men's health advisor, and today we're breaking down the real science of cold therapy for sexual performance. Does it work? How does it work? And should you actually be doing it? Hit that subscribe button, because this is going to change how you think about your morning shower. All right, let's address the obvious question first. Cold water causes shrinkage. We've all experienced it. Jump in a cold pool and everything retreats immediately. So how could cold exposure possibly help with erections? It seems completely backwards, right? Here's what's actually happening. Cold exposure isn't about what happens to your body in the moment you're cold. It's about what happens after. It's about the adaptive response your body creates when it's repeatedly exposed to cold stress. And that adaptive response affects multiple systems that are critical for erectile function: mitochondrial energy production, nitric oxide levels, dopamine release, and inflammation reduction. Let me break this down. When you expose your body to cold water, whether it's a cold shower, an ice bath, or even just being outside in cold temperatures without a jacket, your body goes into fight or flight mode. Your system releases norepinephrine, which is basically your adrenaline hormone. This signals your mitochondria, which are the powerhouses of your cells, to start working overtime. Your mitochondria start burning more fuel, producing more energy, and generating heat to keep your body warm. And here's where it gets interesting for erectile function. When your mitochondria are functioning at a higher level, your entire vascular system works better. Your blood vessels become more efficient, your cells produce more energy, and critically, your body becomes better at producing nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is the molecule that makes erections possible. It signals your blood vessels to relax and dilate so blood can flow into your penis. Without adequate nitric oxide, you don't get hard. It's that simple. And a study published in the Journal of Biomolecules in 2021 found that whole body cold exposure actually increased the activity of nitric oxide synthase in older men. That's the enzyme responsible for producing nitric oxide. So cold therapy is literally enhancing your body's ability to create the molecule you need for erections. But it gets even better. Cold exposure also releases dopamine, about 2.5 times your baseline levels. Dopamine is your passion hormone. It's what drives desire, anticipation, and excitement. It's what makes you want to have sex in the first place. Compare that to chocolate or sex itself, which only gives you about twice your baseline dopamine. Cold exposure gives you more. So not only are you improving the physical mechanisms of getting hard, you're also boosting the mental drive that makes you want to be intimate. Now here's another critical benefit. Cold exposure reduces inflammation and improves insulin resistance. And this matters because insulin resistance is one of the hidden causes of erectile dysfunction in men over 50. When you're insulin resistant, which shows up as belly fat, feeling sleepy after eating carbs, or struggling to lose weight despite exercise, your blood vessels can't produce nitric oxide efficiently. Insulin resistance causes what's called endothelial dysfunction, which is basically damage to the lining of your blood vessels. And those blood vessel cells are supposed to be producing nitric oxide. When they're damaged, nitric oxide production drops, and your erections suffer. Cold therapy has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity, which means your blood vessels can function better and produce more nitric oxide. But wait, there's more. Your testicles are designed to hang away from your body specifically to stay cooler than your core temperature, about 2 degrees Celsius cooler. This temperature difference is critical for testosterone production and sperm quality. When your testicles are too warm, from sitting all day, wearing tight underwear, or carrying extra weight, their function decreases. You produce less testosterone and lower quality sperm. Cold therapy, especially targeted cooling of the testicles, has been shown to improve sperm quality and quantity. And while there's not definitive data yet on whether it boosts testosterone production, the logic is clear. If your testicles function better when they're cooler, and cold exposure keeps them cooler, it should support testosterone production. We're waiting for the large-scale studies, but the anecdotal evidence from men doing daily cold exposure is extremely promising. Now, here's the practical part. You don't need to jump straight into an ice bath. You can start with contrast showers, which is what I recommend for most guys. Here's how you do it. Start with your normal warm shower. Get comfortable. Then, switch to cold water for 30 seconds. Breathe through it. Focus on deep breathing, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Then, switch back to warm. Repeat this cycle 3 times. What you're doing is training your body to adapt to stress. You're activating your mitochondria. You're releasing dopamine. You're improving your vascular function. And over time, this builds a foundation for better erectile function, more energy, and stronger sexual performance. Now, cold therapy works even better when combined with the right nutritional support. Because while cold exposure boosts nitric oxide synthase activity, you still need the raw materials to produce nitric oxide. That's where L-citrulline comes in. L-citrulline is an amino acid that your body converts into nitric oxide, and the best natural source is watermelon. If you're looking for a simple, natural way to support nitric oxide production alongside your cold therapy routine, organic watermelon extract is clinically proven to improve erectile function in men with mild ED. It's gentle, it's safe, and it works synergistically with what cold exposure is already doing in your body. You'll find a link to high-quality organic watermelon extract in the description below. But if you want comprehensive support that addresses multiple aspects of erectile function, nitric oxide production, testosterone optimization, and blood flow enhancement, there's an advanced formula that combines L-citrulline with maca root, nettle root, Icariin, and Tongkat Ali. This formula attacks erectile dysfunction from every angle, and when combined with cold therapy, you're giving your body everything it needs to perform at its peak. That's also linked in the description below. Here's what you need to remember. Cold exposure isn't about what happens in the moment. Yes, you'll experience shrinkage when you're cold. It's about the long-term adaptive response your body creates. Regular cold exposure improves mitochondrial function, boosts nitric oxide production, releases dopamine, reduces inflammation, and improves insulin sensitivity. All of these factors contribute to better erectile function. Start with contrast showers. 3 cycles of hot to cold, 30 seconds each. Do this consistently and pay attention to how you feel afterward. Most guys report feeling energized, focused, and more driven. And when you combine this practice with the right supplements, whether it's the organic watermelon extract for mild support or the advanced formula for comprehensive benefits, you're building a powerful foundation for sexual performance. Thanks for watching.